Hey guys, Mark from Northeast Bastion. How you doing? I'm just loading up the boat here for my trip to Champlain, and I wanted to finish editing this video you're going to see in a sec here. And everything I caught was pretty much on that Smithwick Rogue, that FX series. I know in a lot of the videos and shorts I was calling it Elite series. I don't know why, but that's the FX series, the new one from Smithwick. That's the Rogue. And that's Silver Binsky right there. That's pretty much everything I was catching them on in this video. So I just wanted to get this all edited up for you guys before I head on my trip. So enjoy the clips. I'll see you guys soon from Champlain. Hey guys, Mark from Northeast Bastion. How you doing? I wanted to kind of get all this video edited up for you before I went away to Champlain. And since I'm leaving in a few hours, let me just do this voiceover quick. And it was I was out last week, and I went to one lake. And it was a small lake where there's limited parking, and I got there and there was nowhere to park, so I went to another lake and I was throwing that FX series jerkbait around, and I had a pretty good day. That's the first fish I caught, little guy, but at least it kind of got me started. Here I'm throwing the Binsky, the blade bait, and got a couple on the blade bait too. So I wasn't sure at this point in the morning where the fish were, because I had fished a little bit with that jerkbait and got nothing until I got that one. And so I pulled off a little bit to about 15 to 20 and got a couple blade bait fish. So there's the first blade bait fish, and I believe this is the second one, which is actually a little bigger. The first two are kind of small. At this point, it was, a fairly warm morning, but you'll see I'll bundle up because that changes. And as I said, this is the second blade bait fish. I just have that on one of my Vendetta rods, Abu Garcia. That's an ardent bait caster. I think I got like 12-pound fluoro. Might be 14, I forget. And that one kind of got hooked on the bottom, so he must have just got too close to it. Maybe get a little better view of him. That was at the point. That's that Binsky, that silver Binsky there. So at this point of the morning, I've got 3 fish, 2 on a blade bait, one on that FX series jerk bait. And then after that, it was a lot of jerkbait fish, which they kind of turned on for about an hour or two. There was a window of about an hour or two where they were biting the jerkbait really well. And then a few hours when I started and when I ended where it was kind of slow. So this was at that time, it was a pretty decent smallie. And as I say, I'm throwing that FX series, that new series from Smithwick, the Rogue. I don't know why on some of my videos I was calling it the Elite Rogue. I don't know how I got that name of it in my head, but it's the FX series, that new one, that northern light color. It's got that purple, it's got that chartreuse on it. It's really, really been working well. And the bait suspends really nicely. It gets down there and I can't even see it. You can see this is a pretty decent smallie. After catching those smaller ones, it was nice to get a decent one. But at this point, there's a bit of a chop in the water. It was cloudy, and the bite seemed to be better than later in the day. See that nice smallie there? Later in the day, when the wind calmed down and it got a little brighter, it seemed like the bite kind of got a little less. And they just started hitting it, as you can see there, just as I was letting it sit. Totally letting it suspend, throw it out, get that cadence going, get that bait down where you can't see it, and let it just sit there for, 10, 15 seconds, and they would just hit it. So at this point, I'm catching a few better smallies. I think this one was a decent one too. But that little chop on the water and that cloud cover seemed to help. Or at least there was a window there where they were more aggressive, or maybe feeding more. But another decent one. Here's a back camera view of them, and here's the front camera view of them. You can see I got that hook right in my hand there. But nice smallie. So at this point, I'm thinking, the whole lake is going to be like this, where I'm going to catch them everywhere on the lake, throwing this jerkbait. But it was kind of a small section of the lake where there was a lot of boulders around, and there was a time of the day there where, they just seemed to be more aggressive, more active. I don't know. I guess it was maybe 11:30 in the morning till maybe 1:30. There was like about a 2-hour time period there where the fish were really biting well. I figure I'll extend this clip out a little. I extended it out so you guys could see that fish up a little closer. Now all you do is see my arm, but you'll see the fish in a second here. I was just working them out with the, getting the jerkbait out with those pliers. I might have taken a couple stills of them there. And I'll give you a better view of them. But see that cloud, I think that cloud cover helped. I think it was better. It was actually better when it was a little cloudier. It was later in the day when it got a little brighter. It wasn't quite as good. But you can see that FX series jerkbait from Smithwick. That's that northern light color. And nice smallmouth. And they were definitely hitting it while I let it just sit and let it suspend. Little football. I'll give you a little better view of that jerkbait. As I said, it's that northern light color. It's got that chartreuse, that purple on there. It's been good. It's been really good this spring for me. So I just keep working. I'm kind of, you notice I'm kind of in that same area. It's like a little cove next to it, goes out to that point there you see behind me. And I get another guy. You know, and some of these smallies are like those 12 or 13 inchers, and some of those better fish. So they're kind of mixed together there. That's one of those little guys. Eating that jerkbait. I don't think this lake has any largemouth in it. If there is, I haven't caught one there. Now, I have not fished it a ton, but it's a nice lake. You know, deep, clear water lake, very rocky. As you can see, I'm kind of in the same area there. This area was producing well. And the funny thing is, I went back to this area later in the day, and there really wasn't much going on. There were a lot of trout in the area. I don't know if I put the clips of a couple of little trout I caught. I think I'd probably just skip those out, but those little stocky trout, I caught some of them on the jerkbait. This might be one of the better ones. That's just my Abu Garcia Veritas 7-foot medium rod I like for jerkbait fishing with a spinning. And that's one of those new Enigma rods they had on sale for like $20. That's been good for jerkbait fishing. 6 pound, I'm going light, 6 pound fluoro. And just letting that bait suspend. Just letting that bait suspend. I think that was probably my best smallie of the day. I don't think any of these fish were 4-pounders, but they were like, you know, that mid to upper 3s. I didn't weigh any of them, but they were all nice, solid, you know, chunky smallies. So sometimes when you go to, you know, you want to go somewhere and fish and it doesn't work out, you go somewhere else and it's pretty good. I don't know how much better the other place could have been, but this place was good. And it was nearby, so I figured, what the heck. But I think that was my best fish of the day right there. That was probably the biggest one. And I just keep working down the shoreline. This is past that point you saw me behind me before, and I'm just working down the shoreline. A little guy there on the jerkbait. Get a little better view of him here. Actually, I think that's that previous fish. I just kind of mixed up the order of that. That's that previous. That's that bigger smallie. Just mixed up the order of that edit there. Then I was going all along the shoreline. I caught a couple. I think on this shoreline I catch a couple dinks. These little 12-inch guys, 13-inch guys. But they're all fun, and sometimes they hit a jerkbait so hard you think it's a big fish, and it's just like a 13-inch smallie. And sometimes it's the way they're hooked up too. But he was nice. He was a nice one. I'll take him. I'll take him. There's that. You see, and that's pretty much the jerkbait. And I threw the mega bass a lot, the perch and the pro blue too, and I couldn't get a bite. They seemed to like, maybe it's the chartreuse on that bait. Maybe they preferred the suspending bait towards that slow float of that mega bass. I don't know what it is. I threw the mega bass a lot. Couldn't get a bite on it. I had that one tied on and a mega bass in a couple different colors tied on. Just could not get him to hit it. So as I said, I don't know if it was maybe just the way that bait would suspend. And this was a nice smallie here. He hit it totally on, it was just sitting there, and I was just kind of looking up. I think there was a bald eagle. I was kind of looking at him, and all of a sudden this fish hit the jerkbait. That was a nice smallie right there. This is that previous one there, that little guy. Give you a closer view of him. He's got it under the, that's why he felt like he was a big fish, because he had it like under his mouth and on his belly there. When they pull like that, they always feel like they're bigger than they are. That's another thing I like about those new Smithwicks. If you guys have thrown the Rogue for years, the old hooks back in the day were not the greatest in the world. These new ones are pretty decent. I haven't had to change them out. This is just another little guy. This is something I just kept working down the shoreline fishing. And as I said, once you just assume that the whole bank everywhere on the lake is going to be like that. They're going to be just biting everywhere. But they really weren't. It was a very small window area there of time, I think, and of area where they were active. There's that last one that was a decent one. I think I just kind of mixed up the order of the edit here of placing these videos, but I'll just give you a quicker view of them. That was a nice one. So it was kind of a mix, it was like a mixed bag of those nice, 3-pound plusers, and then the 13 or 14 inches. Now here I went to an area I had fished, and I went back to it, and I threw the blade bait again because the jerkbait bite was kind of slowing down, so I pulled off and threw that Binsky again. I don't know if I caught one or two more on the Binsky, but here's one of them. When the clip comes up, I'll remember. But I was just working this shoreline. I just pulled out away from the bank after I had jerkbait fished it and caught a decent one there on the Binsky. If I edited this correctly, which I did not. This is that small guy. I definitely screwed up these last few, but you'll see the close view and the far view of these different fish. But this is just a little. That's that little guy from before. There's that good look at that jerkbait. I think they really like. It seems like maybe they really like that chartreuse that spot on the bottom. I don't know, whatever it is attracts them, but it definitely works. If you haven't tried that Northern Lights, that FX series, give it a shot. They're not expensive. It's a good jerkbait. I'm catching a lot of nice fish on it. Another little guy there on another little bass on the jerkbait. I think this is when I came back to that area. I had caught some trout, and you can see them kind of busting the surface, and I figured it was trout. And I just threw in there a few more times, caught a couple little trout, and then there was a smallie in there. Because you got to figure the bass are around them. But that's it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the clip. I'm heading to Champlain in about an hour or two, so I wanted to do this for you before I left. So I'll see you guys soon. Mark out.